Y'all can say it back or, just stop talking. My name is Reginald Toussaint. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Services and our Student Wellness Coordinator. That Student Wellness Coordinator hat allows me to be kind of the point person for our new BCM Life program, which is the BeWell counterpart for students. And we organized this event as a joint effort, and so I won't spend too much time here on the microphone. I just want to quickly introduce myself, acknowledge the BeWell team, Jesse, Charlotte, and their good team for putting this together. And then also our guest of honor, Mr. Cyrus Worrells. So if y'all haven't heard of the Institute for Spirituality and Health, it is a Texas Medical Center organization, and they work within the specific scope of what you hear in their name. Specifically looking at some of the intersections between religion and science, belief, and healthcare. And today we'll give a very practical talk on mindfulness and meditation. I think one of the things that kind of waters down mindfulness oftentimes is that it's a very heady topic to discuss, and so you get a lot of theoretical information, you get a lot of kind of big picture, pie in the sky stuff, but nobody ever really talks to you about how to do it. So this will be a very practical presentation led by Mr. Cyrus here. So without any further ado, thank you all for coming, and I'll turn it over to Cyrus to get started.
Thanks, Reggie. Can you guys hear me? No? Okay, maybe up it a little bit. I'll try to project until they get the audio up. So, my name is Cyrus. That's all you need to know. And instead of, as Reggie said, giving you a bunch of presentations about all the benefits of mindfulness, which you probably already know, and it's more similar to the type of information that you regularly receive, we're just going to go through a variety of practices. And whichever one sticks with you, maybe that's something that you can bring back into your own student or work life. So I'm curious, before we begin, how many of you are medical students? Small portion. They're all studying, stressed out somewhere. So I guess the rest of you are staff. Raise your hand if you're staff here. Well, work can be stressful too. So I'll start you with a question. What are you experiencing right now? So now set down whatever that was that you kind of said, the easy story about how you feel, or whatever's in your hand. Come into this room. What are you experiencing right now? Be curious. You don't have to answer. You don't have to tell anybody. Just be curious. What am I experiencing right now? You can close your eyes if you wish. What are you experiencing in your body? What sounds are you hearing? What does it feel like to be you right now? The answer to that question is there's no distraction from mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply to be aware of what you're experiencing, and there are always distractions. Sensations in your body, sounds in the room, and most of all, especially for you guys, a million different thoughts racing through all the time. Some of them that you hang on, that you grab on, a particular task that you need to do, something you regret saying, or whatever it is, but there's more thoughts flooding through your mind than you can possibly pay attention to individually. And so to be mindful of them is just to watch them as they go by. It's not to change them. It's not to think anything different. It's not to quell all of your anxieties permanently, or to eliminate stress, or to be a better person. It's none of that. It's just to notice where you are, who you are, and what you're experiencing in the moment. So I'll ask you one more time. What are you experiencing right now? So I'll be honest, I'm intimidated by this big crowd. I'm feeling my heart beat a little bit faster, feeling my mouth getting dry. Thank you, Reggie, for 2 waters. And I'm trying, you know, as I'm feeling that sense of nervousness and intimidation, to just be with it, to notice it for what it is, to not concoct a story that, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about, or that's probably the main one. But to just be where I am, whatever I'm experiencing. And that would be, as we go through these practices, that's the essence of all of this. And I said I wasn't going to give any studies, but we are in a medical school, so there was a Harvard study in 2010. They used people's smartphones to gather a large sample size. I think it's like 2,500 people. And they would just ask them throughout the day via some app, what are you thinking about right now? Is your mind wandering is it wandering, and is it wandering to pleasant thoughts or unpleasant thoughts? So it was either you're paying attention to the task you were doing, it was wandering to pleasant thoughts or unpleasant thoughts. And they found that, and of course it also asked them, how happy are you on a scale of 1 to 100, I think. And they found that we are happiest when we are engaged and present with what we are doing, even more so than when our minds are wandering to pleasant thoughts. So it's healthy and it's enjoyable to be mindful, to pay attention to ourselves. And it can also help us prioritize and make better decisions, decisions that are informed more by where we really are and what we're feeling and what we're desiring and what we need. So it's good for a lot of reasons. And at the center of almost all mindfulness practice is inattention to the breath. And so we'll start with the most simple meditation, which is just to pay attention to your breath. And I can already see, maybe down just a click on the volume. Thanks. I can already see some people shifting in their chairs. And so before we close our eyes and officially meditate, I want to invite you to let go of whatever sense you have of meditation and doing it right and what you're supposed to get out of it. It helps to have a straight spine so that your body and muscles can relax, but you shouldn't be sitting where your whole back is like straining to keep you upright. Then all of your attention will be on your back and you won't be able to go anywhere else. So be comfortable, most of all. And as much as you can, try to approach this with a beginner's mind. So, as if you've never heard of meditation before, which obviously is not true, but you probably have a lot of ideas, a lot of narratives around what it's supposed to look like, what you're supposed to get out of it. This is only useful if you get something out of it that's yours, that you've experienced. So yeah, try to bring that attention and kind of a care for yourself. You know, what feels good to you? You know, what aspects of it feel good to you? And go there. You know, Everybody will have their eyes closed, so there's nobody to impress and no test to pass. All right. So notice where you are in the chair. Feel it supporting you. See if you can sink even 10% more into the chair. Just allow your body to sink into the chair. Any of those things you have to run and go do, you're stuck. So you might as well just sit in the chair as comfortably as you can. Notice what the chair feels like. Allow your shoulders to relax and soften. Just allow them to. Don't force them to. Just, if they want to relax, let them do it. Let them sink a little bit. Notice tension in your hands. You can feel your hands preparing to grab something or text someone or whatever. Just let go of the need to do anything with your hands for a little while. Feel your feet wherever they are, firmly rooted on the floor, supporting you. And now notice that you are breathing. Don't change your breathing yet. Just notice what it's doing on its own. Fortunately, we do breathe in the vast majority of the time. It's doing it without our conscious attention. So just check in with what it feels like to breathe. That's it. Nothing special. Just feel your belly rising and falling. Notice if it makes you even a little uncomfortable to pay attention to your breath. That's okay. Don't get frustrated. But if you do get frustrated, just notice that. And invite a sense of softness. Just think of soft things, sense of softness. And invite your breath to be soft. That is all. You're not going to make it soft. Just let it be soft. And as you soften, you'll notice perhaps that the breath moves down a little bit from your chest to your lower ribs. Settles down in the belly. See how low you can breathe. Almost like you're breathing down right above the hips. Exhale everything out and take a deep breath from your belly. Fill up and exhale. You want to fill up from your belly, then your side ribs, then your upper chest. Exhale. Take another deep breath. Belly, side ribs, upper chest. It's okay to push it here, just to stretch it out a little bit. It's okay if it's a little uncomfortable to fill up, inhale so deeply, but let's do it a few more times. Inhale. And exhale. It's okay if your pace is not exactly the same as mine. It's fine. Inhale. Let your belly expand. Side ribs expand. Chest expand. On this next one, see how slowly you can exhale. So inhale fully. Exhale slowly. One more of those. It's okay if it feels weird or goofy. Fill up all the way. And exhale. And then just let your breath return to a natural rhythm. Let go of all that effort. Let go of effort. Totally. Don't try to do anything. And just go back to paying attention to your breathing, its natural rhythm, with just a gentle sense of softness. When we breathe deeply in this way, we activate the vagus nerve. It's part of our parasympathetic nervous system. Calms the fight or flight response. It actually allows us to think more creatively, to see others with more compassion, including ourselves. And by this point, you've probably experienced a million different thoughts about how you're doing, adjusting your exhale, inhale. Thoughts about me or this presentation or the people you're sitting next to, what you have to do. It's all good. It's all natural. All of the thoughts that arise in your mind are natural. None of them are to be eliminated. But with each one that comes up, just acknowledge it however you can and come back. Bring your attention gently, gently back to your breathing. Sound of a can opening. It's going to bring your attention right there. It's going to grab your attention. We go to what the immediate stimulus is, and that's fine. We're not trying to ignore stimuli. Just let it move to the sound and back to your breath. To some tension in your shoulder and back to your breath. Breathing is the most direct way we can exercise conscious control of our nervous system, of our bodies. So if you catch a moment of ease in the breath, where your attention is really there, and you're really feeling what it feels like to just breathe softly and allow the thoughts to come and go, pay attention to what that experience really feels like. And remember that it's always accessible to you. It's always right here. Right here. And release the practice. Forget that you're meditating or doing anything in particular. Open your eyes, wiggle around, whatever. As this commotion kind of goes on, like, it's all good. As it goes on, see if you can bring even just a taste of that presence to your breath into whatever you do when your eyes open. Because if you'll notice, even as your eyes are open and we're moving and we've slumped in our chairs now and we're talking again, you're still breathing. You're still pulled to all sorts of different stimuli. All of that wave of experience is still going on. And so the challenge is to bring even just a little fraction, a little taste of that presence, that awareness of what you're experiencing and what you're paying attention to into everyday life. And in terms of finding, I think the title was like an oasis in particularly stressful times or something like that. We get creative with titles. That's the challenge, is if you're in an argument with someone, or you're in the middle of taking a test or a stressful work project, you know, you're not in a designated self-care, meditative space. Can you bring some of that, just a little memory, a couple seconds to breathe, relax yourself, however you experience it. So whatever your experience was of that, note it. If it was uncomfortable, if you're like, this isn't what I expected or whatever, just note it. Just note it. We're going to do a few more. going to do a few more. So we're going to do a body scan. We're going to imagine that our bodies are made of ice and that they're melting. And so we're going to pay attention to each part of our body as it melts. And it may seem a little woo-woo to, like, you know, that kind of visualization, but there's oodles of clinical research showing that imagery is very powerful, that the brain processes images that you conjure up very similarly to how we process real stimuli, and so they have very similar effects on the body's physiology. So that's the first part, and then I'm going to launch into autogenic training, which was developed by this German neuroscientist, Johannes Schultz, in the 20s. Basically, it's a series of phrases, also based on imagery, that you can say to yourself, say to your body, that will get it to respond. So an example, the first one is, my arms are heavy and warm. I am at peace. And so I'm going to go from the body scan, and then we'll go right into that. And I'm going to say each phrase probably 2 or 3 times, and leave time after that for you to internally repeat it to yourself. So I'll just say, my arms are heavy and warm, I'm at peace. You just say inside, my arms are heavy and warm, I am at peace. Just directing that attention, just saying it internally, has an effect. All right, you guys got your wiggles out? Actually, before we go into that, just if you have space, we don't really have, I would bust out like a Qigong exercise, but we don't really have space for that. But just like, shake out your hands. Yeah, there we go. And if you can, if you have space under the desk, just like wiggle out your foot, and then your other foot. Like, let it wiggle. Lubricate the joints and like all that thing that's telling you, I don't want to sit still, I don't want to be here, I don't want to listen to this guy. Like, just like wiggle it out. And then maybe just roll your shoulders back. Inhale them up and pull them back and down. Not so intensely, we're not like working out, but just inhale them up, draw them back, and let them glide down the back. Feels good. Feels good to me. Okay, back to meditation. So find that comfortable spot or a different position. Maybe you realized halfway through the last time we were sitting that your back was super tense. So let's, you know, adjust, get comfortable. All right. Close your eyes for this one if you didn't in the first one. Imagine your body is made of ice. Really try to picture yourself as this ice sculpture sitting in the chair. Now imagine beautiful warm sun overhead, shining down upon you. Feel yourself as this ice, stiff, pretty stiff, tight, stable but stiff, solid. Feel the warmth of the sun on the top of your head and feel the top of your head begin to melt. Running down your forehead, melts. Allow your eyebrows to melt apart. Corners of your eyes, eyelashes, under the eyes and the cheeks, the temples and the ears melting down. Your jaw, stiff, icy jaw, warming and melting. Down into your neck, warm and melting. Feel your shoulders melting. Slowly, gradually, the sun, warmth of the sun, melting your shoulders down into your upper arms, into your elbows, melting your forearms. Feel your icicle hands begin to melt and become warm. Feel your legs, your hips, melting into your knees, melting down into your lower legs, down into your feet. Feel your whole body just gradually melting. And as I said, I will say several phrases having to do with your body. Just let the phrase strike you and repeat it once to yourself. I'll say each phrase 3 times. My arms are heavy and warm. I am at peace. My arms are heavy and warm. I am at peace. My arms are heavy and warm. I am at peace. My legs are heavy and warm. I am at peace. My legs are heavy and warm. I am at peace. My legs are heavy and warm. I am at peace. My heartbeat is calm and strong. I am at peace. My heartbeat is calm and strong. I am at peace. My heartbeat is calm and strong. I am at peace. My forehead is pleasantly cool. I am at peace. My forehead is pleasantly cool. I am at peace. My forehead is pleasantly cool. I am at peace. My breathing is calm and relaxed. I am at peace. My breathing is calm and relaxed. I am at peace. My breathing is calm and relaxed. I am at peace. My abdomen radiates warmth. I am at peace. My abdomen radiates warmth. I am at peace. My abdomen radiates warmth. I am at peace. Visualize yourself healthy, warm, relaxed. If you're comfortable, we'll go into one more visualization. So just be where you are. If you need to shift, that's okay. Don't worry about anybody else. Really stay with your own experience. And now imagine yourself in a safe and comfortable place. Could be anywhere, real or imaginary, whatever comes to mind. Beautiful scene from nature, a room in your home, either your home now or where you grew up. A number of places might occur to you and you might jump between them. Take your time and settle into just one place, anywhere. Trust that whatever comes up for you is the place to be. It doesn't have to be a specific place. It could be a scene, nature, or anywhere. But just come to that place, be in that place, visualize that place, and begin to recognize the details of this place. If you're outside or inside, what's around you? What are the colors? The sounds, if there are sounds, maybe even smells. What are you wearing in this place? Hone in on whatever details emerge for you. But really look around and be in this place, wherever it is. Are you alone, or are there other people or pets, creatures? Is there something missing from the space that perhaps you'd like to bring in, like a friend or, I don't know, anything? Make this your space. It's entirely yours. And just be there and notice what it feels like to be in this place. Just be there in this place, wherever it is. If you get distracted, that's okay. Just come back to that place. That place where you feel safe and comfortable and easy. Again, feel what it feels like to be in that place. And breathe. And acknowledging how that space feels to you, just allow it to drift away. Knowing that you can go back there whenever you'd like. That it exists inside you. Can be a resource for you. And come back to this room, your chair, sounds. Whatever thoughts are surrounding whatever we're going to do next, or lunch plans or whatever. Just allow all of that immediate life to flood back in, and allow your eyes to open at their own pace. Don't rush it. Take a few more seconds in your space if you like. Deep breath in. Exhale. Let your head hang to the front. Slowly inhale to the side. See if you can let it hang to the side. Let it hang in the back. Don't push it, just kind of allow it to hang. If there's a kink, don't force your way through a kink. Just be gentle with it. Just stretch out your neck. You can do that as much as you like. Often we hold our necks stiff, even though we're trying to melt them and all that. All right, I think a couple other things I wanted to do, but I think that's enough meditation for the lunch hour. And yeah. I'll be happy to take some questions. And if any of you are about to dash off with questions, I guess I'll give this kind of final wrap-up spiel first, which is, I've kind of said this, but any aspect of what we just did that touched you, whether it was a particular aspect of that safe space, whether it was a person in that safe space or a detail. Maybe you don't want to go back to that space, but something about the bird that was chirping brought you a sense of peace. Take from it whatever is yours. If there was a meditation or part of it that made you uncomfortable, you don't like paying attention to that, it might be something to explore, but it's not necessary. You know, this is all things, any part of this last 45 minutes that was peaceful and connected for you, take that away. And when you're in the midst of some stressful project or whatever it is, you know, bring even just that peace with you, even if it doesn't mean a 30-minute meditation or whatever. Just bring that peace. And everything that you experienced came from within, so you can always bring it back up. Okay, question about sleep. Some of you are still here, so okay, good. So well, one, it's okay to sleep. Sleep is good. So you know, if you meditate for 30 minutes and you fall asleep during that time, you probably needed a 20-minute nap. So, you know, don't punish yourself for sleeping. I would say an upright position would be key. I mean, if you're meditating in a really comfortable, loungy chair, it can make it easier to fall asleep. But really, you can kind of challenge yourself to pay attention. So there's kind of the sort of two sides of mindfulness or meditation, which is one is sort of open awareness, where you're just kind of paying attention to what's going on. And then another is more like the body scan or the breath concentration or attention, where you're honing in on something in particular. And so if you're trying to meditate concentratively, you could feel the distraction of being sleepy and see if you can allow yourself to be sleepy and still notice that you're breathing without, you know, getting rid of the sleepiness or like conjuring some agitation. See how sleepy you can get and still be aware and attentive. Outside of that, just got to get more sleep. Walking meditation is great, and it's also, if you're walking around all the time, you can certainly bring presence there. You know, it's a rhythmic activity, just paying attention to what you're experiencing in your legs, and your feet. We do it automatically. Anything that you do automatically, I would say that's an opportunity. You know, when you're not accomplishing anything else, you're just walking and ruminating about something, bring some conscious attention there, or riding an elevator. I would also say Qigong. The shaking stuff kind of comes from Qigong. I'd highly recommend, we have classes at the Institute on Tuesday evenings. It's just down the road if you want to check it out. Excellent teacher every Tuesday evening at 6. There's also videos that you can look up with Qigong, and it's really just the same kind of attention that we're doing, attention to the breath, but with a little bit of movement. And so it engages you. Soft movements, just like lifting the arms, turning, you know, turning the head like we did. But that gives you enough stimulation that it'll keep you awake, give you something to pay attention to. Either way, so I go two ways. I'd say the biggest challenge to meditation is this struggle to like get it right. And it's the biggest struggle with a lot of things, I think. I swallow. Swallow, shift around, scratch the itch. If you want to get creative and curious, sometimes you can take a discomfort and you can let it be, and you can like hone in on what that really feels like. So we get an itch or a pain, and we feel it, and then it becomes a thought that I am uncomfortable in this way, and this is the solution. And so you do that sometimes before you've really noticed what that feels like. And it can be very healthy to pay a little bit more attention to what is that pain in my knee, And what emotion am I feeling because of it? You know, what is that experience? Acknowledge that experience and then shift your knee or scratch the itch or swallow. But just that taste of like curiosity and getting in touch with yourself a little bit better.
Can you recommend any apps that you think would help?
I've got like kind of my own guided meditations that I like because just because of the teacher's voice or whatever. There's a bunch out there. So I like the Insight Timer. It's just a timer with a bell at the beginning and the end, and there's like a bunch of meditations on there. There's ones to help you go to sleep. There's ones on compassion, and so that's my favorite one is the Insight Timer. But there's also Headspace. I really like the teacher Tara Brach, T-A-R-A space B-R-A-C-H, and also Jack Kornfield. Korn is with a K. Just because of their demeanor can kind of help you. But yeah, Insight Timer, and there's so many resources. Again, whatever sticks with you, that's the key. There's not like the best one. The best one is the one that gives you the best experience. I struggle with it all the time. I'm not a morning person. I feel anxious every day when I wake up. Every day. And on the way to the work, my breath is short. I'm stressed. Stresses arise. I mean, maybe if you practice literally all the time at the top of a mountain or in a cave, then you get to this point of like perfect equanimity where you're in that space, that safe space throughout your life. But other than that, one is forgiving yourself for stress. And I'm sorry we didn't have time to do like a self-compassion exercise because we have tensions and like these unpleasant emotions, and then we have on top of it the way that we judge ourselves for having that. So like, oh, I'm anxious, that means I didn't meditate well enough, or I'm not really like, there's something wrong with me that's making me anxious. You know, I shouldn't be anxious. And so it compiles on itself. Easing up on that, and then acknowledging that stress is natural, and that you can't like, there's not like a magic meditation or a magic pill that's going to eliminate that from arising. And so then that gives a little bit more openness to when I do feel anxious in the morning. I'm like, okay, here we go again. Like, but then I'll pay attention to what brings me ease in that moment. So it might be reminding myself that my mother loves me, or like going into that safe space, paying attention to the weather, and most of all, paying attention to my breath and bringing an ease to my breath. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't immediately enter all aspects of your life. The more you do it, obviously the more you practice something, the easier it is to like automatically bring it up in your daily life. So I've been dabbling in these practices for something like 6 years, and I'm always introduced to new ones, and stress is always arising in new ways and giving me new challenges. And so it's okay not to eliminate it, just bit by bit. And the more you practice, the easier it is. Thank you. Let me give a plug. So I've got these program brochures right here for the Institute for Spirituality and Health for our spring programming. If you don't like carrying around paper, it's easy to remember, spiritualityandhealth.org. We do all kinds of things related to mind-body practices like this, but also clinical considerations when it comes to spirituality. So check us out. And be well. Take care of yourselves.